Okay, folks, let's roll. Today we're going to talk about the chicanery and the illusion of the every 4-year-old American presidential election. And I'm going to prove to you how it's just an illusion of choice that you elect no one. They've already been selected by the synagogue of Satan, the house of Rothschild. To give you a classic example, let's go back to 1992. A relatively unknown throughout the major United States, very well known as a major drug dealer in Arkansas, in Mena, was Bill Clinton. Now, who is Bill Clinton? Well, first of all, Bill Clinton is a 33rd degree Freemason, or higher, I'm sure by now, a member of the Bilderbergers, a member of the Trilateral Commission, a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and a member of the CFR. He was nominated to go against George Bush. Now, who is George Bush? A 33rd degree Freemason, a member of the Bilderbergers, a member of the Trilateral Commission, a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, and all the other conspiratorial organizations that Bill Clinton is a member of. So where was the election? They belong to the same club. They have the same goals. They just come out and put forth what you want to hear. But when they get elected, they do the same thing. Now, Bill Clinton in 1992 had no chance of beating George Bush. It would be an impossibility because George Bush was known and Clinton was known. Clinton was known, as I said, in Mena, Arkansas as a major drug dealer. And a lot of people suspected him, and I certainly do, of the murder of at least 53 children who saw the planes fly in. He's a real criminal, a real creep. He's also the son, by the way, of Winthrop Rockefeller, the former governor of Arkansas. And if you doubt me, get a book, big book on the Rockefellers. Look at Winthrop's picture when he was younger, and you'll see, you'll think you're looking at Bill Clinton in 1992. And add the fact that Clinton's mother worked in the mansion, in Rockefeller's mansion, and got knocked up and then had to leave. However, he was supported by his father. See, Bill Clinton's a bastard in many ways, not just biologically. But Bill Clinton was going against George Bush. No chance to win. So what did they do? They wanted to get Bush in. They wanted to get Clinton in. Why was it so important to get Clinton in? Because they wanted to accentuate or start the war on American small business. So they had to have the NAFTA laws passed, or the free trade, which is free for anyone else but Americans. And they wanted Americans to take the big corporations out of the United States to leave the people out of work. This would hurt the mom and pop operations because the people would not have the money to purchase off the mom and pops. So they had to get NAFTA or free trade passed. George Bush could never get away with it, so the global elite felt because he was a Republican, where Clinton could convince the Democratic trade labor unions to go along with it. So what they did, knowing what their goal was, they got Ross Perot, a good old boy, to come out there and say everything you wanted to hear. Sure sounded good to me, but it was all a lie. It was telling the truth in order to deceive. For him to take the votes away from George Bush. So a lot of people went out there and voted for Perot. Perot knew he'd never get in. The global elite knew Perot would never get in. But those votes taken away from Bush went to Clinton, and Clinton got in. This way they could justify they didn't have to actually cheat with the votes like they did with Barack Obama. That's the reality, folks. There are no elections. Now, the election of Mitt Romney against Barack Obama, come on. There is no difference. They're both 33rd degree Freemason. They're both members of the Bilderberg. Same thing down the line. The only difference is Obama has a better tan. And he appeals to the minorities because the minorities think he's a black man, think Barack Obama's a black man. Well, first of all, I don't even think he's a man. And I don't think his wife is a woman. And you could Google that or YouTube it. But he certainly isn't a black man. He's a disgrace to the blacks. And the knowledgeable, the wise black people throughout the United States can't stand the little prick, because that's what a Barack Obama is, a little prick. So there are no elections in the United States. The Ronnie Reagan deal? Come on. Ronnie Reagan was never president. George Bush Sr. was the president. Ronnie Reagan didn't know what he was saying. He was told, say this, and he said it. He even admitted that several years before his death. You haven't had a president in the United States since John F. Kennedy, who the Ashkenazi, Zionist, neocon, Talmudic Jews had killed because he wouldn't fund them as promised, because he was a great actor, Kennedy. Love that guy. He wouldn't give them the money for the nuclear arsenal that they have now in Dimona, in the Negev Desert in Israel, which, by the way, in 2003 was the 4th largest nuclear arsenal in the world. See, nobody in the Middle East has nuclear weapons. Nobody could contend with Israel because they have all the bombs. How'd they get the money? Your taxpayer money. The money that you fools paid to the government for taxes was given to Israel. Well, Obama just gave, I guess about a year or two ago, $70 billion at one shot to Israel. And for every $1 million that he gives to an Arab Muslim country that's touted about and bandied all over the Zionist-controlled press, the media, the Talmud Vision TV, and the Jews papers, your newspapers, he's giving $50 million to Israel. Wake the frack up. There are no elections in the United States, and there is no United States. It's a corporation owned by the Jews. America now is a kosher sewage plant because you people didn't accept the cost of liberty, which is eternal vigilance, as Jefferson said. You didn't watch. You let them get their gang in, and now the barbarians are inside the gates, and they own you. They don't own me, and they don't have to own you. But you got to wake up, rise up, and expose the truth.
My name is Al. My number is 239-321-0102.